from our heart, living from our core, living from our power, we all get more. We are powerful women.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Alignment Summit. I'm Sue Erda. I'm your host for this incredible event, which I am so honored to be able to introduce to you the authors, the co-authors of this upcoming book, Women Living in Alignment. They're the speakers for the summit. I get the honor of introducing them to you so that you can learn more about them, but also so they can share with you some of the guidance and practices and beautiful messages that they have for you to help you on your own journey of alignment. Today, I get to speak with Raven Barnard. Her topic today is the power of surrender and hearing the soul. I know you're listening because that is attractive to you, so I'm excited to start talking with her. First, though, I'm going to read a brief introduction, and then we'll hear from Raven. Raven is a soul midwife, subtle energy therapist, plant spirit medicine practitioner, ceremonialist, and unity consciousness guide. She is certified in shamanic energy medicine, Ayurveda yoga, and Reiki. Raven guides individuals through the deep heart portals of transition into the embodiment of new realities and empowerment through understanding their wholeness in relationship with nature. Grief alchemy and heart center presence are at the core of her magic. 12 years ago, a powerful Kundalini igniting experience landed Raven on a new life path dedicated to self-study with Shakti, personally transforming her relationship with inflammation and depression from pain into empathic empowerment and awakening energy. And Raven, I'm so happy to welcome you today. How are you doing?
Thank you, Sue. I'm doing well, and I'm very grateful and happy to be here with you.
Yes, me too. And Raven, in the book that's coming out on November 2nd, you share your own personal journey, like you said, from inflammation and pain and depression into something really empowering. So will you tell us a little bit about that personal journey and how it led you to this moment?
Yeah, I'd be happy to, Sue. So my journey has really been about my soul awakening through Kundalini energy, and really my walk and understanding how to live with that awakened energy in my body and in my life, because it totally transformed my life. And as I look back at that, it really all began with a dream that I had, a very powerful medicine dream that I had in 2008 that seeded my awakening. And at the time, I was not aware of what the dream, the medicine of it or the power of it. But in the dream, I was connecting with and seeing the pain and the suffering of my soul. And in the dream, I made a commitment to my own care and healing. And after the dream, I started experiencing inflammation in my eyes, probably about a couple times a year. And then 2 years after the dream, the Kundalini experience happened. My awakening happened. And that instantly opened up my empathic, intuitive, psychic gifts. And it also triggered the gene that I carried, unbeknownst to me at the time, of reactive arthritis. And so it activated that inflammation that was just experienced in my eyes all throughout my body. And so there was a series of events that followed that really turned my life on its head. And the destruction of my life as I knew it really put me in touch with my darkness for the first time. I experienced my first dark night of the soul, which was to be first of many.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. That's a very powerful, and it sounds like a divine dream for you. What is it that you think that brought that on?
Yeah, there was one event in particular that I know triggered that dream, and it was a shamanic healing session that I had 1 month before the dream. And this was my first experience with shamanic healing or anything like that. And the session gave my soul the power it needed to reach me, to open up that connection again. And so it was really my soul's need for healing that brought the dream on. And I never knew that I was living unconscious to my soul's needs until that dream.
Oh, so that's very interesting because, so, I mean, people dream all the time. You know, I personally don't remember many of my dreams, but people dream all the time. So what made you pay attention to that dream in particular?
So that dream kind of left me at the time. And it wasn't, I was still, you know, kind of living out of touch with myself at the time. And it wasn't until 6 months after the dream that it just kind of kept coming back to me really clearly, vividly. And so I think it was, you know, tapping me on the shoulder, and I finally wrote it down, and it just stayed with me. It's one of those things that was a knowing. It was a knowing of something beyond this realm, beyond this reality that was so familiar to me. But I didn't know really how to be in touch with that yet. But I knew it was impactful. I knew it was powerful. I knew something had happened with that dream. Yeah.
Something happened to your spirit, your heart, you, right?
To all of me. Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. So, you know, this is the Alignment Summit, and the book that we're talking about that you shared a story in is Women Living in Alignment. So tell me, what does alignment mean to you?
Yeah. Alignment. I feel like most simply, alignment is about staying true to you through all the changes, rather than being blown into another's truth through subtle shifts of the wind. And I feel like that's much easier said than done. There, you know, with social expectations and relationship dynamics. But I feel it's most important to make that commitment to yourself and to your soul to live in alignment. And you don't have to know what that means. You don't have to figure that out, or know what the next step is, because that commitment, that intention becomes the seed that then starts to guide you. And once that seed is planted, it forms this path that you begin walking deeper and deeper into your truth. And so ultimately, that means that, the ultimate expression of that I see is all your bodies becoming, all the bodies of your being becoming in sync with and moving as one with your truth. And so it's like every step, every breath, you're all together. And that's a very powerful thing to achieve, to work with, to step into, because your magic and your alchemy become more and more potent as you go deeper and deeper.
So for you, Raven, what does it feel like when you're in alignment? What is it, that feeling place for you?
For me, it's I work with staff medicine a lot, and I work with it physically, and I work with it intuitively within me. And so staff is always working with me, and I feel that staff come in to my core. And so it feels like it's reminding me of my core truth. So it kind of, it pulls right in, and it grounds me. And it's this connection that I've made with my mental body and that staff. And it just brings my mental body to the ground. And then it opens up my heart. It's like my heart can come up and out because my mind is grounded. So for me, it feels like I'm present in my core.
Beautiful. That's a great way to say that. I like that, present in my core, because the core is what, we're aligning with. That's beautiful. So Raven, you work with a lot of clients, guiding them to living in alignment. So tell us a little bit about what that work looks like. What does that mean for you, for them? What happens?
Yeah. So I work with people in so many variety of ways, but really in all of my offerings, I am supporting that journey of alignment. Whether that's their intention or not, whether they're coming with that on the, in their heart or not, it's always supported. And I meet people where they are in that journey. So whether they're just curious about it, or whether they have just planted the seed, or if they're years and years on the path. And so whether that's working lightly and little by little through the chakra system, or whether that's diving deeper into more complex unravelings, or deeper into discovery, into self-discovery. And so I'm always in communication with the soul. And in all the work that I do, that comes through as a teaching. So I teach soul communication as a way of living in alignment. And that also comes through with other things such as heart center work. I like to share about heart center, teach about heart center as a powerful point of focus, a very transformational, alchemical point of focus, and meditation, and also just the practice of presence.
Beautiful. And so do you find that you work with clients on an ongoing basis, or is it something like you work for a short period of time with a certain issue, or is one session, is that even, is that good for someone? How does it work?
Yeah, I find that it's so different for each person. Some people come with come for therapy, like they use this work as therapy in their in a way like they would with acupuncture. So I often like to speak of it as like acupuncture for the soul. And so some people have regular therapy with me, like every couple of weeks or once a month, and that's just kind of their their journey with it. I would consider that kind of like working little by little through the chakra system, kind of just gently weaving into their life, and this gentle opening, petal by petal, of their journey into alignment. And then it also depends on your processing system. It depends, because this is really big work. And so it depends on your ability to process this information within your life. And so some, considering that, some are, once every couple of years, a couple times a year. And then there are containers that I hold. So containers, immersions are like extended sessions. So I like to refer to them as petri dishes, because everything really gets magnified and comes to life. And it's, in a way, it's kind of like a vision quest while staying in your life, while living your life. And those are really big. Those are, those I would say I see people, once every couple years for those. So it's there's just so many varieties of ways to, how I see people in these journeys, in their journeys with alignment and with whatever they're specifically working with, because it may come up as just an issue in their life. It just may come up as like a relationship issue, or something going on with work, or maybe even something in their physical body. I do a lot of work with the nervous system and like neuro issues. So, and those are a lot denser. Those take some time, because once that block manifests in the physical body, it took a while to manifest to that level, and so it's going to take some time to unravel that. So yeah,
that makes perfect sense. So it's all client driven, and what they need, you work with them on that for however long it takes. So
exactly. Yeah.
Beautiful. So the title of this interview, as I mentioned, is The Power of Surrender and Hearing the Soul. Tell us about that. What does that mean for you, and what can our listeners learn from that?
Yes. So surrender, that can be a really hard word for people. It can really hit people hard, and I think it can be difficult to face, and even more challenging to embrace. I think some have the interpretation of surrender as a weakness, or a way of going outside, your power going outside of you to something else. But it couldn't be more opposite. I mean, when you're really working with the true act of surrender, it's exactly the opposite. And the true act of surrender is purely an existence for the mind and the ego to come into alignment with the soul, with truth. And the beauty and the power of surrender is its subtlety, its grace, and its pace as well. The pace that is reminding you what your sacred rhythm is, what your true pace is, not the pace of the system, not the pace of someone else. And that's really what surrender is. And it's just all about this mental shift into that. And so to really understand surrender, it's important to be in relationship with the soul, with your soul. And the soul can be a lot to connect. It can be a really overwhelming idea, concept, presence. And so I always like to recommend to begin with the heart. Just start by developing a relationship with the heart, because the heart sometimes can feel more approachable. And, it's there in your body. Where is the soul? It's like, first of all, where is the soul? So you can begin with developing a relationship with your heart, and as well as with nature. It's also important to develop a relationship with nature, and through that, getting to know the sacred space within you. And I like to teach what the trees taught me, to help in getting to know that space within. I like to, that's how I teach. I teach from nature, and that's how I learned. And also to retrain the flow of mental energy. That's really important in the journey of surrender and hearing the soul, in the practice of surrender. And so what I have learned in my journey with inflammation and surrender is that the pain always opens up in the act of surrender. And the ego releases resistance.
Beautiful. And that's beautiful. It goes hand in hand. And so, I always think about when someone tells me a story like that, if it can happen for you, it can happen for me. I can also hear my soul. So I love that. And that's what you help your clients do. So thank you so much, Raven. It's beautiful. I love that. I love everything you shared with us today. I know that you have a gift for our listeners. And also I know that there are people that are listening that will want more of you, want to learn more about you, maybe connect with you. Can you tell us about all of that?
Yes, I do have a gift. It's a guided meditation. It's called Mineral Goddess Meditation, and it's a bit of alchemy for you. So when you listen to it, you're gonna experience a shift, an energetic shift, a shift within your soul. So that you can find at www.heartfeltwholesale.com/free-gift. And that is my website, heartfeltwholesale.com. And so you can reach me, you can learn more about me there on my website. You can contact me through my website. Also, my email is heartfelt.wholesale@gmail.com.
Great. Wonderful. I'm looking forward to that meditation. That will be really great. I've been doing various meditations lately, and I love changing it up. I love the new voices. I love the new energy. I love all of it. So it's very cool. Thank you so much, Raven, for being a part of all of this. Thank you for today. Thanks for sharing your beautiful story in the book, Women Living in Alignment. We're so grateful that you're a part of this collaboration.
Sue, thank you so much. This is a launching pad. It's time for me to tell my story, and I needed support doing that, and you provide that, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you, Raven, as I said. And listeners, thank you, because I know you're listening to this because you are on your own journey of aligning with your own soul purpose, with whatever feels good with your heart and in your life. So thank you for being here, listening to these amazing authors. I know you'll want to buy this book on launch day, Women Living in Alignment. Launch day is November 2nd. We have a special on that day. It's a 99-cent Kindle book. So if you're into Kindle, it's a perfect day to buy that. Also, the paperback will be available. So buy that if that's what you like to do, is hold a book in your hands like I do. So that would be great. Also, you'll get lots of gifts from our partners. We're offering lots of things like Raven's meditation. Those types of gifts will be there from about 50 partners. So that's really great for you too. So to get that book, you go to our website, womenlivinginalignment.com on launch day. We will guide you to your appropriate Amazon, depending on which country you're in, so you can get that book. So thank you so much. Continue to live in alignment, seeking and feeling your way through. Thank you all so much. Have a great day. Bye for now.